Palestine Part 36. Well, the situation is under control for the allies in Lebanon, but nobody knows for how long this may remain in control. US is very focused on Lebanese border. Israel is very focused on the border, Lebanese border. And as I told you earlier, that they have evacuated their Jewish settlement as well. But as far as the Lebanese side is concerned, the Christians settlements are there. They haven't really evacuated themselves. And the thing is that where would they go? As far as the Israelis are concerned, their state power is behind. They've got all the resources. They can evacuate and they can run the affairs of the government, of the state, of the community. But the Christians of that area, the Muslims of that area, the Shiites of that area, the Sunniites of that area do not enjoy the same resources, the same facilities, and the same kind of infrastructure as the Israelis do. So there are no evacuations on the part of Lebanese side, but there are evacuations on the part of Israelis. Now next we come to Syria. So Syria is a country of rubble because of the 2-decade war led by USA and Saudi Arabia. The allies had made it a rubble. Well, we can't simply say that this is all because of USA, but there have been many more characters when we talk about Syrian war. Well, Bashar al-Assad, the regime, the son of Hafiz al-Assad, the former president of Syria, Hafiz al-Assad. After the death of Hafiz al-Assad, Bashar al-Assad took over, and Bashar al-Assad is there as the president of Syria. And then there was Arab Spring. In Arab Spring, they overthrew the regime in Egypt, they overthrew the regime in Tunisia, they overthrew the regime in Algiers, they overthrew the regime in Libya, and they also tried to overthrow the regime in Syria, that of Bashar al-Assad. But Bashar al-Assad stays there to this day. So one of the characters is, of course, Bashar al-Assad. This is their land and they have to defend it. The other characters, of course, USA is there, the foreign factor, and Turkey is there. Turkey sometimes, just not to let those Kurds revolt against Turkey, Turkey has played its role on Syrian soils. Time and again, their ground troops have invaded Syria. Their ground troops have went into Syria and they have waged a war for their own interest. Well, actually what they claim that we have been doing this not to develop any azab for the Kurds to wage a war against Turkey. I don't understand whether they can justify any of the violence in Syria for curbing the usurpation of those Kurds. And Saudi Arabia has been a big character in the devastation of Syria. Saudi Arabia has opened all the treasures for an investment of a war. The financing has been provided by Saudi Arabia. Saudi had financed the US military adventure in Syria. And what is the concern of Saudis in Syria? They don't share any border with Syria. Well, they have got, in fact, a religious difference with those of the Syrians. Since Syrians are Shiite Muslims and the Saudis are Sunnite Muslims, so this is where they have got to develop. They have developed a conflict, and the Sunnite Saudi Arabia has been trying to demolish Syria, and they have financed a war in Syria, to such an extent that Syria is in rubbles today.